everyone, and welcome back to Chelsea Talks again. I'm so happy to be back again with the Chelsea Talks. It's been a long time, but the Premier League has been gone away for a long time now. Finally, the Premier League is back, and today I'm going to talk about Chelsea, the big news coming around Chelsea, the match preview for the Crystal Palace, and a lot more stuff. So do subscribe to the channel, do like the video, and stay till the end because this video is going to be amazing. So stay till the end. A lot of information is going to be shared, and I'm going to discuss my opinion, and I hope the people in the chat also give their opinion regarding the same. So we all know that Chelsea in the Premier League this week will be taking on Crystal Palace, a massive game for Chelsea considering the position we are right now with 10 points in 6 games. We are very much struggling so far. You can see Crystal Palace so far also a tough team away at Selhurst Park. Arsenal have 18 points from 7 games. Tottenham have 17 points from 7 games. United in the equal games have 2 points above us. Liverpool are just 1 point behind us, but they are a much better team than us, to be honest, with the last year's record. So it's going to be difficult for the top four this year. We have to start winning. The new management is here. You don't have much time to settle because top four is very important. And this is why we cannot waste much time. And we need to start getting back on the winning run. We have Champions League games coming up thick and fast as well. We are struggling in the Champions League. We have Milan coming up as well, who we have to beat somehow, some way. So big week ahead, and it's time to preview the game. And talking about big news regarding Nkunku, big news regarding the sporting director, big news regarding All-Star game, and a lot more stuff. So starting off, first of all, with the Crystal Palace preview, we all know that Chelsea will be travelling away to Selhurst Park this Premier League game week. We'll be travelling away to Selhurst Park, a very tough place, a place that always big teams have found hard to go and win away. So starting off with the first slide, and that's about Chelsea's result in the Premier League so far. In the Premier League so far, we won the first game away at Goodison Park, a place we usually struggle. People also know whenever Chelsea have won at Goodison Park, they have gone on to win the Premier League. This is not going to happen this year, but we always struggle at Goodison Park. Then we drew 2-2 against Tottenham, which was an absolute injustice. We were absolutely robbed. But what's gone, that's gone. We were hammered by Leeds United. That could have been 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. After that, we beat Leicester in a very lucky draw, to be honest. We should have drawn that game. It was a very big misses by Jamie Vardy, Leicester, Harvey Barnes. And we were very lucky to come out of that with a victory. Then we lost away to Southampton, a struggling team in the league. But we made Southampton look like the prime Barcelona, and we lost to them 2-1. And then we beat West Ham 2-1 again in a controversial game where, to be honest, we were very lucky on the other side of the ref as well. Anshul Bhai in the chat. Thank you so much, Anshul Bhai, to be part of the chat. Thank you for the support of the channel. It's so good to catch up with you back again as well. So these have been the Chelsea's Premier League results so far. Going to our opponents so far, that is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have the result in form of Palace 0, Arsenal 2. They had a very good game as they had some chances as well. They did not capitalize upon that. And in the Premier League, when you play the bigger sides, you don't take your chances, then you will be made to pay, which they were. Remember, they have no Conor Gallagher this season, so they have signed Doucouré, and that's the way they're trying to build up as well. Then they drew 1-1 at Anfield away when Liverpool had 10 men. So that was a missed opportunity for Crystal Palace when they were against a 10-man Liverpool. It was a big missed opportunity, and I think they should have taken the 3 points from the game. Then they beat struggling Aston Villa, struggling Steven Gerrard's side at home 3-1. After that, they lost to Manchester City 4-2, where we have to be honest, their third goal should have stood. And if the game was Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 3, nobody knows will the comeback have been possible or not. So they were a bit robbed in that game, if I'm being very honest here. And then they drew 1-1 at home to Brentford. Another game where they conceded a very late goal. They should have won that game. And then they drew 0-0 away to St. James Park, where again, let's be brutally honest, they were very lucky. Newcastle goal should have stood and Newcastle should have won the game. And Guata had a very good game and some big saves in the game as well. So these have been the results of both the sides, Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Now, going on towards the most dangerous players from Crystal Palace and a bit of opposition preview, if I'm being honest with you. First of all, let's start with Wilfried Zaha, who was also linked to sign with Chelsea. We all know that Wilfried Zaha is a player I really like. People on the channel will know he's a player I really like. Chelsea were really after him as well as an alternative if you're not able to sign Aubameyang. So he's a player that I really admire and a very underrated player. If you look at his stats so far this season, in 5 games, he has had 4 goals with 0 assists. He has also had 3 shots per game, and he has been averaging 1.4 key pass per game. Looking at the shots, this usually means that how much chances are being created for him and the shots he's taking, which means he takes a plenty of shots in a particular game. Along with that, he has 1.4 key passes per game, which in my humble opinion is a very good stat. And then you go towards his 4 goals in 5 games, which is again a magnificent start. The other player I want to talk about today is Eze, a player who has been converted to midfield because Conor Gallagher has left. He's usually a winger who is playing in the midfield, and I think he has played a good part so far. In the 6 games he has started, Yes, he has not scored goals, and his shooting is a bit, to me, not at the level it must be. He should have wrapped the chance up against Arsenal. He should have got them the equalizer against Arsenal. But if you see properly, 0 goals, 2 assists, 1 shot per game, 1.5 key pass per game, 1.2 cross per game. So he's not having that much back time that people are really going on for him. I think as he is replacing Gallagher in the midfield role is going to take time. Yes, his finishing can improve, but the stats that he's accumulating are very, very good. With a shot per game, 1.5 key passes per game, enough crosses per game. So he could be a player Chelsea need to be very careful of in the midfield, especially Jorginho, who is not very quick and who could be counted upon by the likes of Eze. Going towards the next slide here, and that's about Chelsea's last some matches away to Selhurst Park. And Anshul Bhai, absolutely Anshul Bhai, I'm so happy with the news as well. This only shows how quick this current board is, the way they're working with the players, and it shows that they're really, really determined to get Chelsea back to where it should be. But again, only point that I have a bit of doubt, Anshul Bhai, is he going to work in the system? And we still need a creator. So what's going on around the creator stuff? Because we is looking like they're trying to build an attack of Leao and Nkunku and Sterling, but we still need midfield. And it looks like they're going for Declan Rice and Bellingham. So it's exciting times for Chelsea fans. And I think this January is going to be really, really interesting for me, in my opinion. And Nkunku is a very, very good player. And people are really mistaking him to be Werner. But he's a much more all-round footballer than Timo Werner was. And I'll get back to the Nkunku news later in the video, Anshul Bhai. I've got a lot of Chelsea news, and that will be covered in that as well. If you look at the last 5 meetings for Chelsea away to Selhurst Park, it's a ground we really like. It's a ground we really like to visit. If you look at the last year, we won away there 0-1. We got a bit lucky. Hakim Ziyech scored a late goal, but a needed victory. Before that year, under Thomas Tuchel's starting era under Chelsea, we went there and played liquid football and won 1-4. Before that, Christian Pulisic pulled on a magnificent performance and we beat them 2-3 under Frank Lampard, where Kurt Zouma made one of the best slide tackles in the end that I've seen. What a tackle that was, a Kurt Zouma. And before that, under Maurizio Sarri, we again beat them 0-1. And before that, who can forget? I think Anshul Bhai will also know this very well. Timi Bakayoko scored and we still lost. Antonio Conte times, unhappiness. And that was the worst campaign I can remember Chelsea have had. Even worse than 15-16. That was so toxic. And I cannot forget that match. Crystal Palace lost all 4-5 games in the league. They were struggling. Frank de Boer was sacked. Roy Hodgson was appointed. He lost his first game 4-0 to Manchester United away. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Chelsea was there. We were there and they beat us. And in that way, they got back to the form. But otherwise, it's been a very good ground for us to visit. And we have won the last 4 games here. So if you go by the history, this is one of the grounds we really love to visit and should be a ground we should really get ourselves up to win. But remember, Southampton's ground, St. Mary, was a stadium we love to visit. And you know what happened there this year. So again, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. St. Mary's a stadium we've always liked to visit, but we lost this year. So again, I'm not getting overconfident, but Selhurst Park is a place we've always done very, very well. Going towards the next part, that's Crystal Palace injury news. James McArthur is back in training and he's getting fit, but he won't be available for the Chelsea game, while Nathan Ferguson is not available. So that's the Crystal Palace news. But the most important players are fully fit and fully fine. Going towards Chelsea, we have some news to cover today. N'Golo Kante is back in training. That's been confirmed by Graham Potter, the Chelsea manager, but he will not be available for this game. Edward Mendy was injured before the international break and had some injuries, but he will be back now. Marc Cucurella has some illness, so he won't be available for the Crystal Palace game. And Chukwuemeka will be out for the Palace game as well. So to be honest, Chukwuemeka, Cucurella, Ken Kante is out for this game. Kante was expected. Chukwuemeka was never going to be the part of the team. But Cucurella is a bit of a surprise one, and let's see what Graham Potter does. Going towards the next part of the video, the likely Chelsea 11 we might see in this match. This is my likely Chelsea 11 for this match that we might see. Graham Potter has been going on a 3-3-3-1 shape. The people would have watched the match against Red Bull Salzburg. You would have seen the shape. There was a 3-3-3-1 shape, which is a stunning and surprising shape, which gave us more attacking fluidity up front. So, in my opinion, Ben Chilwell will play as a left centre-back, who might even play as a left-back at some times. Wesley Fofana will play at the right instead of Cesar Azpilicueta. Edward Mendy will be the goalkeeper, back at his position. Thiago Silva will be the centre-back for Chelsea, the leader of Chelsea. Jorginho will be playing as a DM. Kovacic will be playing as a left centre midfielder. Mount for me will be playing right centre midfielder. And Sterling will be playing 2 positions, sometimes a left wing back and sometimes a left winger, as we saw against Red Bull Salzburg. At the right is going to be Reece James, again, who is going to be playing 2 roles, right centre back, right wing back, and the right winger. That's the way we played against Red Bull Salzburg. We should start Broha for this one, and he's better than Oba in my opinion. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with Anshul Bhai. But I think the experience Aubameyang has and the 2 weeks he has had with Graham Potter on the training ground, I think Aubameyang will be preferred for this game, and I do think he'll start. But I think Broha will come on the bench, and I do agree that Broha is a much better option in my opinion as well. But I think Aubameyang is also a very good player and can do a very good job for us. So in my humble opinion, people, Chelsea is going to go with a 3-3-3-1 shape, and this is the way we are going to play this game. Going towards opponents, Crystal Palace at 11, they're going to line up with a 4-3-3 with Vincent Guaita as a goalkeeper, Joel Ward at the right, Tarek Mitchell at the left. Is going to be Joshua Anderson and Chelsea's former player Mark Guhi in the middle. Is going to be Czech Doucouré, the new signing, playing as a DM, and is going to be Eze playing at the position Gallagher used to at the left. Schlupp will play at the right because MacArthur is injured, and Jordan Ayew at the right, Wilfred Zaha at the left, and Mateta up forward. Now, Mateta has always this thing that Mateta is very dangerous for set pieces and is a very, very good physical player. So Mateta can give Thiago Silva some trouble. So I think this is why Mateta will start over Edward. Wilfred Zaha will go to his position at the left. Ayew will go to the right. Eze will play from the midfielder, more like an attacking midfielder. Schlupp is a left footer and can be really threatening from the right as well. Then Doucouré, and then Mitchell, who is a player who has really impressed me. Joel Ward, and then it's going to be Anderson, Guhi, and Guaita. Absolutely agreed, Anshul Bhai. This is a dangerous side. Eze is a lot of pace. Eze can really trouble Jorginho. While Jordan Ayew, I think is a player that sometimes plays a really good game, sometimes plays a very bad game. So Jordan Ayew is very unpredictable. While Wilfred Zaha is a player I really admire, Mateta can be very threatening on set pieces. Jeffrey Schlupp is a left footer who can create a lot of problem in the midfield as well. And I think Tarek Mitchell making some runs inside can be really threatening as well. So I think this is a very, very good Crystal Palace side as well. A side for me which is going to do very, very well this season. Going towards the next part of the video now, and that is a prediction. For me, Crystal Palace and Chelsea, I think we are going to win this game. I think Chelsea is going to beat them. We are going to keep a clean sheet. I think there's going to be a manager bounce, which always happens when a new manager comes in. I also think that we will be defensively solid. And I do think that attackingly, we will just have enough to beat Palace. I think it's going to be Crystal Palace nil, Chelsea 2. And I can see Aubameyang scoring in this game. And I can even see Raheem Sterling scoring in this game. I see us beating Crystal Palace away 2-0 and getting a much needed victory with more tougher matches coming ahead, especially AC Milan as well. Now, it's time to go towards big news that Anshul Bhai was talking about. Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku has already completed the cardiological medical check to join Chelsea. A Chelsea orthopedist was also there. The medical check has already been done and paid in the recent days. And people, this is some massive, massive, massive news. And there's more Nkunku news as we go forward in the video. So this is the first news that is already completed his cardiological check. And we all know that Nkunku has a release clause that will be going around next season. So that's a massive part of Chelsea can capitalize upon. His release clause is just 52 million. You heard it right. It's just 52 million. That's peanuts. That's absolute peanuts for Chelsea. And his release clause for Christopher Nkunku is just 52 million people. That is amazingly less. And that's a price I think Chelsea will really love. Just 52 million to replace attackers. Chelsea will also lose some players. 52 million for Christopher Nkunku is no-brain. Absolutely no-brainer. I think we've already signed him and loaned him or have an agreement with Leipzig and Nkunku. Absolutely agreed on Shubai. I think we've already agreed an agreement with RB Leipzig. And 52 million for me, people, that's a magnificent deal if you can get it through, especially with so many clubs interested in him as well. Going on towards another Nkunku news, verbal agreement between Nkunku and Chelsea around the contract, including salary and length. Chelsea are working to get the deal done very soon for 2023 and they want to be fast. Nkunku's mission is Premier League football was on Manchester United and other lists as well. People, this is by one of the most reliable person I can tell you about transfer news in Fabrizio Romano. He really gets the stuff wrong. And I think if he has said this thing, it does look like it's going to happen. Verbal agreement is reached between Nkunku and Chelsea, including the length of the contract and the salary. People, when a player agrees a salary, when a player agrees a contract, when a player agrees to a length of contract, it already means there's a yes from the player side. I think Christopher Nkunku is really determined to come at Chelsea, and Todd Bowley has really sold him the plan well. Graham Potter is an exciting manager, and I think Nkunku deal does look like it's done. The only way it could be really gone away is if a club like Real Madrid come in or Chelsea move out at the last minute. But Nkunku and Liao are two players Todd Bowley is really going after, and there's one more player that Chelsea are going after, which I'll discuss later in the video. A player I think you're gonna love coming at Chelsea, a future midfield star. I'm not gonna give you more clues. Let's discuss about that later in the video. Going to the next news now. That is Chelsea have been turned down by Santos. And another point by Anshul Bhai, 3 points, and Nkunku is better than Timo. Why? Better first touch, I agree. Ball controller and technical, effective dribbler, comfortable in any position in front foot. For me, Anshul Bhai, there's no brainer. He's way better than Werner, and I love Timo. I will always love Timo, but he's a much better player than Timo Werner was, and will be a very good buy for just 52 million. There's another breaking news from Chelsea by Ed Aarons. Chelsea have been turned down by Santos and made a late bid to buy Lyon this month. People, we know Todd Bowley discussed in his interview about buying a feeder club where Chelsea can develop players, can take players from them, can send their players on loan, can buy some great young players from the club as well. We know how great Santos are. One of the best talent in Brazil plays for Santos. We know how great Brazilian footballers are, and that is why Chelsea were trying to buy Santos. Lyon, we all know how many great players Lyon have produced over the years, and Lyon could be another amazing club to go after, people. What a great time this is. And we're also getting linked to a lot of Portuguese club as well. This only shows how long-term Todd Bowley is thinking, how long-term his plan is, how long-term his planning is, and he's looking for a feeder club where Chelsea can scout players from, take their players on the first priority, and also get their players on loan there to get some experience. These are some very, very good news, people, as a Chelsea fan right now. Going towards another news, and the new club for Chelsea to use. We are in also talks with Bayern for Goretzka for Havertz exchange. I think Anshul Bhai, Goretzka is a fantastic midfielder, but I just do not see Havertz going on the other way, because I think Chelsea rate Havertz very, very highly, and I cannot see the deal happening because we signed him for 72 million. Until we have a great return on that, at least investment wise or performance wise, I don't think they're going to let Havertz go away from the club. Now discussing about this news, Tom Glick, the executive task with helping Chelsea's co-owner Todd Bowley to establish a network of clubs, spent several months working on similar plans with the Crystal Palace investor John Textor. Chelsea had late Lyon bid rejected this month. People, Chelsea are really serious to buy a feeder club, and we are really going seriously about that. We all know Red Bull Salzburg, Leipzig, but Chelsea are trying to buy a proper feeder club from whom they can take players, from whom they can even give players. And they're trying to build a new relationship, a new model of football, which is going to be very exciting. And we all know Tom Glick is Chelsea executive, and he has been tasked of doing that. And people, this is getting a very, very exciting part right now, Chelsea, and how long-term we are planning right now, how long-term the club is working right now. Along with that, talking about the Portuguese club we are after. Chelsea are in talks to buy Porto Muniz, who are fourth in Portugal's first division, the new club. Again, we are getting linked with Santos from Brazil. We're getting linked to Olympique Lyonnais from French football. We're also getting linked to Portugal for Porto Muniz, who are fourth in Portugal's first division. And again, we all know some great talent we have seen from Portugal, some exciting talent which Chelsea have not took advantage of. I think this is why Chelsea is trying to build a feeder club. Like, we can find the next Neymar, we can find the next talent, and for that we won't have to pay 60, 70, 80 million. We can even send our players to loan there, get them developing time, get them regular starts. And I think this could be a good way for Chelsea to develop their youngsters, and it could be a good way for Chelsea to buy some very good youngsters from the other club. So these are some very exciting news, people, and it does look like Chelsea is really building on a great, great path. Now, going on to another news on sporting director, and Chelsea have held positive internal talks with Bayer Leverkusen sporting director Tim Skelton. It's understood that Kyle Macaulay has made a strong impression already on staff at Chelsea, and along with that, Chelsea and the new sporting director will work with him. Wow, people, like, we are really working on long term right now. We've held talks, positive initial talks with Bayer Leverkusen sporting director Tim Skelton. We already know that Christopher Froome rejected Chelsea because he wanted to stay at Salzburg. The deal was so close, but he rejected us in the end time, and that is not going to be possible. So Christopher Froome deal is out. Now we are linked with the Bayer Leverkusen sporting director Tim Skelton. People, it really looks like Chelsea are going to go for two sporting directors. I think we are going one for one of the Christopher Froome, Skelton, and one more, and we're going to go even for more and more, which is really, really exciting news that is coming out of Chelsea as well. I know for a midfielder, You're referring to Jude, but we are also looking to Ismail Benaker. I think you knew it. We will discuss on Jude Bellingham later in the video. And Benaker is another player I agree with Anshul by the way after as well. And don't know why you're feeling we might seem upset with Palace win. I think it can happen. That's Premier League football. Anything can happen football weeks. But I just cannot see Palace doing that because I think there's going to be a manager bounce, which I don't see Palace really surviving off. And going on to the next news, people, and the next news is regarding Chelsea will also interview Victor Ota, Monchi, Lee Congerton, and Rui Pedro Bras next week for the vacant sporting director role. For the people's information, Victor Ota is right now at Leeds. Monchi is, we all know how capable he is. He's at Sevilla. Lee Congerton is at Atalanta. Rui Pedro Bras, it is Benfica. And next week, we are going to discuss with them for the next vacant sporting director role. And people, we've already been rejected by Christopher Freund. We were after Michael Edwards, who wants to take a sabbatical from football. We are after the Bayer Leverkusen sporting director. And now we are also after Victor Ota, Monchi, Lee Congerton, Rui Pedro Bras. So it does look like we are really planning for the long term. And I think Chelsea is really going on the way Liverpool go on or City go on. And it's an exciting sign. We are going to become more of a scouting club than rather than going just for the big names. And it's good to see how Todd Bowley is really working. I'm still furious at him for sacking Thomas Tuchel. But what's gone, that's gone. But so far in the sporting director role, in the other part of the club, women's team, youth team, he's doing a magnificent job as an owner so far. And that takes me to another news today. Todd Bowley has already, will Chelsea go for Rafael Leao? Yes, we will. We will go for Rafael Leao. I'm being very honest. We will go for Rafael Leao. The only problem with Rafael Leao is the money involved. AC Milan won 120 million. We also have to pay Rafael Leao's previous dues because he terminated his contract with Sporting. So Rafael Leao can cost Chelsea 130 to 140 million. And that is where the problem is arising for Chelsea. Todd Bowley has already tried to make inroads in the Bellingham camp. Despite being told that Real Madrid and Liverpool are ahead of Chelsea, Bowley, Clear Lake are ready to splash more cash in midfield being one of the priorities. Rice remains on the club's radar. So people, I've been telling you for a long time that Chelsea are planning for a midfield reshuffle from a very, very long time. We have been planning about a midfield for a very, very long time. We know that Jorginho has 1 year left on his contract. We know N'Golo Kante has a 1 year left on his contract. Kovacic is around 27, 28. Is getting to a stage where a midfield needs a big, big rebuild. Carlos Chukwuemeka was signed. We're after a player from Russia as well, a very talented kid as well. We're also going for many more youngsters like Cesare Casadei, who we have signed from Italy. So Chelsea is really trying to nourish their midfield, a young, energetic midfield. And Jude Bellingham will be an absolute cream over that. He's one of the most talented players right now in the world. And what a great signing it will be. Now, where the problem arises is Real Madrid are interested in him. Liverpool is interested in him. Manchester City is interested in him. Now, will Jude Bellingham choose Chelsea over Real Madrid? No. He will never choose Chelsea over Real Madrid. Let's be brutally honest. Will he choose Chelsea over Liverpool? I think wages might be involved, but Liverpool is still a more prospective place to go. You go towards Manchester City. Is a player ever going to reject Manchester City for Chelsea? I don't think so. So it's going to be a big part and we have to move early. Now, will we do that? That depends. I think we should use Jude as a priority rather than Basmati rice. I do agree with you. Jude Bellingham is a proper midfielder. But I will say, Anshul, by the even Rice could be an important player Chelsea need. I'm being very, very honest. We also need a DM. We need 2 midfielders. And this is why both Rice and Bellingham will make sense. But Rice, Bellingham, and Nkunku, Leao, these players are not possible in one window. We have to be honest. So it's only going to be 1 or 2 of them, to be honest, in one window. And as I've written on the side, it is a long-term process, people. It's not going to happen in one window. It will take time. Chelsea is building for the future. It's a long-term process. Jude Bellingham, one of Leao and Nkunku might be coming to the club. We might even have Rice coming up to the club. So it's exciting. I think next year at Chelsea, we might see one of Bellingham or Rice coming. And we might see one of Leao and Nkunku coming. So it's exciting times as a Chelsea fan. But it's a long-term process, so we should not really hurry into it and really be impatient. Going towards the next news today, and this is about the All-Star Games. And the plans for All-Star Games, City are also in the race for Leao and may offer player plus cash deal for Leao, most probably Mahrez. But the thing is, we are also offering that same as well. AC Milan won Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic. So Chelsea also have that way where we can offer some players. Now on the All-Star Game, plans for the All-Star Games are set to be revived with the Premier League 11 facing the best 11 from Germany, Spain, and other top leagues. Those matches could be staged around the world as a means of growing global audience. This is why Dickinson Times Time Sport. Now, wow. Everybody was going on Todd Bowley, criticizing him, abusing him, really going on. He does not understand the English football. How do you take this? Let's be brutally honest. No executive in the Premier League will ever want to miss an earning opportunity. Let's be brutally honest here. The Premier League itself, the clubs, nobody will ever want to miss an earning opportunity. Let's be brutally honest about that. And no club is ever going to do that. These are some massive earning opportunity for all the clubs in the Premier League, and they will never want to miss a chance. Why is this guy upset with All-Star games? It's not just about Todd Bowley. Now all the Premier League clubs are interested. The thing is, at that time, you can understand North versus South, England rivalry. Now it's all around the world. Just think the best La Liga 11 was it the best 11 from England, was it the best 11 from Germany, and other top leagues like League One. You can even say Messi versus Ronaldo might be on. The Premier League 11 having Ronaldo, the League One 11 having Messi. It's a big earning opportunity. Just think, let's for example say they come to India and we have La Liga 11 versus Premier League 11. The money they are going to earn will be astronomical, absolutely astronomical. Messi versus Ronaldo. You can have Kevin De Bruyne versus Pedri from the league as well. You can have so many good players playing in these matches, and the money that's going to be earned is going to be massive. No player is going to turn down where he can get a big money. No club in the football will ever turn down an opportunity to earn big money. No club will do that. And this is why I think this will always in the planning. This is not just Todd Bowley. I think what has happened is Todd Bowley raising this topic has put it this side. We have seen Super League type of things coming. Now because Super League is not happening, I think these type of games will start happening as well for earning more money. And I think this is going to happen, if not now, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But at some point, this is going to be happen as well. I agree. I absolutely agree. But players will themselves say yes. If let's say, for example, players are told that we are going to give you 1 million each to play this game, will they reject it? Football freaks, just think for 1 second. Someone says to these players, you will get 1.5 million for this game. Will they disagree? No. Harry Kane will get to play with Kevin De Bruyne. You will have Kevin De Bruyne playing with Harry Kane. You will have Mason Mount playing there. You will have a Chelsea player playing there. Arsenal player playing there. You will have the whole Premier League 11 there. Just think opportunity for Harry Kane to play with Kevin De Bruyne. We could never even think of. I don't think players will reject that. Pin this comment. We will sign Leo for sure. I'll just pin it. Absolutely. We will sign Leo for sure. His agent Mendes is also helping us buying a club in Portugal. Milan are interested in both Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anshul Bhai. I think I absolutely agree with you. I think Leao is coming to Chelsea. And then Nkunku will also come to Chelsea. The thing is, let's be brutally honest. Hakim Ziyech will be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. So let's be brutally honest around that. Hakim Ziyech is going to be leaving Chelsea. If you go Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic might also leave as well. Because after this year, he will only have a 1-year contract left. You will have other players as well, even like Callum Hudson-Odoi, who might go, might not go. Jorginho Kante will be leaving. And Chelsea is going in a new direction. And this is why a lot of transfers can happen. And a lot of transfers will happen in the January transfer window and in the transfer window after it as well, which is going to be one of the most exciting windows with the way Chelsea builds, because this can decide that can be the title contenders for the next season, or will we straight away be again the top 4 pretenders as we've been for the last some years as well. So news have come to an end. Now let's just recap today's video. We'll recap from the start. So people, I hope who have joined right now, we're going to discuss from the start in a quick way. We've talked a lot today, a lot more exciting news today. I'm going to do more special shows. Tomorrow the post-match will be there as well. So do hit the like button, subscribe button. We're going to discuss on the post-match as well tomorrow. There comes a question. If the All-Star games will be played, then will there be no preseason friendly? I think the reports that are coming, Football Creeks, is this will be played at the end of the season. So after the matches are over in the Premier League, then this will be played. So I don't think the players will have so much problem in that. And let's be brutally honest, if these matches replace preseason, people will rather watch this than the preseason. So I think this is also a question we have to understand in that regard as well. So today, first of all, I previewed the Crystal Palace game today, a big game for Chelsea tomorrow. And quickly recapping on the game, we have known that Chelsea this season have had a very mixed results. We beat Everton, we drew versus Tottenham, dropped by Anthony Taylor, we got hammered by Leeds, we beat Leicester in a lucky victory, we got hammered by a Southampton team struggling, and then we beat West Ham in a very lucky way. You may disagree, but RLC and Conor Gallagher are not Chelsea quality and need to be sold to raise funds. Sir, on one hand, I do agree with the names you have given, Jude Bellingham, Alvarez, and Benacer. I will never deny that these names are better players than the names above. But I will say one thing: I have a bit of sympathy and love for Ruben Loftus-Cheek because I always have loved him. And Conor Gallagher, for me, still a very good talent. We might just regret really letting go. And I still think, Anshul Bhai, that we are not going to sign every player. I think it's going to be Leo and Nkunku and just one more player. This is why I think it's better to keep some players for the depth in the team, for the competition for places. And this is why I don't think a lot of them should go, because I think we won't be signing everyone. And these have been the results for Chelsea so far. Going to Palace, Palace lost to Arsenal in a very good performance, but they did not take their chances. They drew away to Anfield with a 10-man Liverpool, who they should have beaten. Then they beat Aston Villa 3-1. Then they lost to Manchester City 4-2, where they were robbed of a decision. They should have been 3-0 up. Gallagher is the successor of Kante. I agree. I think he can play like Kante, but he's a better attacking footballer. He's not a full Kante. He's more like a number 8 who can play with the energy of Kante, but is very good in the box as well, with late runs, finishing, and all the stuff. Then Crystal Palace drew 1-1 against Brentford, where they conceded a 90th minute goal. And then the drew was in Newcastle, where they were very, very lucky. Newcastle goal should have stood. The two most dangerous players from Crystal Palace for me are Wilfried Zaha and Eze. In 5 games, Zaha has scored 4 goals this season. He's been averaging 3 shots per game, 1.4 key pass per game, while Eze has had 6 games, 2 assists, 1 shot per game, 1.5 key pass per game, 1.2 cross per game. People, please pay big attention. But how many 8s do we need? We have Mount, Kante, J5, Kani, Connor, and also Kovacic. I think for me, being very, very honest, I think Kovacic is not a number 8, Anshul Bhai. I think if we are in the future, Anshul Bhai, in the future, if we are playing 4-3-3, I see Kovacic more to the middle part, near to the DM. In the future, I am seeing Chelsea playing a 4-3-3 with Kovacic, with, I think, a Rice. Sadly, I don't think Bellingham is coming to Chelsea, Anshul Bhai. I think Bellingham will go to Real. I think it's going to be Declan Rice playing as DM in the future. Kovacic is the left centre midfielder, and I think Mount will be playing as a right centre midfielder, with Conor Gallagher being backup for one of them, Chukwuemeka being backup for other of them, and then one more player being the backup for Rice. That's the way I see Chelsea going in the future, Anshul Bhai. And if you see Eze has been really good from the midfield, and some of the stats he has got, I think is going to cause a massive problem for a midfield with the pace he has got. More like a Kovacic. I think Conor Gallagher is nowhere near Kovacic. He cannot spray passes like Kovacic. He cannot control the tempo of the game. He's nowhere near the quality of Kovacic. No way. Now, going on the last time results of Selhurst Park, last year we beat them 1-0. We also beat them 4-1 in the Thomas Tuchel starting era. We beat them 2-3 in the Frank Lampard, where I can never forget Kurt Zuma's tackle. We beat the 0-1 under Mari Susari, and then we lost to them 2-1. Anshul Bhai, we remember very, very well the Timi Bakayoko days. He scored, we conceded 2 goals. And remember, people, Crystal Palace did not even have a point. And what happened? Chelsea arrived. We arrived and we made Paris look like a prime Barcelona. But other than that, we would have a very good record at this ground. But the same thing I also said for Southampton. So again, we have to take this records with a pinch of salt. Now, coming to the next part for Palace, Makata will be not available for this game and Nathan Ferguson will be out. Going towards Chelsea, N'Golo Kante is back in training but not available for the game. Edward Mendy is available for the game. Marc Cucurella has an illness, so he will be out for the Palace game. And Chukwuemeka, who might not have been a part of this game, he will also be out as well. So these are the Chelsea news. Chukwuemeka out, Cucurella out, Mendy available, and N'Golo Kante back but not available for this game. Going towards the next part of the video, that's discussing on the Chelsea likely 11. And for me, it's going to be 3-3-3-1 shape, which I saw against Red Bull Salzburg. I think this is a shape we are going to play against Red Bull Salzburg. A shape Graham Potter employed against Red Bull Salzburg. Attackingly very good tactic. I think he has shown that this style at Brighton, and I think he's going to follow this at Chelsea as well. I think Edward Mendy will be the goalkeeper. Fofana will replace Aspi. Chilwell will replace Cucurella. And I think Silva will be in the center. Talking a bit about tactics, I think Chilwell will shift in positions. Chilwell might become a left wing back. Chilwell might become a left back. Chilwell might even play as a left center midfielder sometimes. This is going to be the freedom that Graham Potter is going to give him. I think then we will have Jorginho playing as a DM. Kovacic at the left center midfielder. Mount in a more like number 8 role at the right center midfielder. Then it's going to be Raheem Sterling playing 2 roles of a left wing back and a left wing. And Reece James doing the same, playing the role of right winger or a right wing back. And then Havertz is going to play more near to the striker, which all fans have been begging for. And then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Obama Blood Clang Yang, is going to be playing as a striker in this game. That's going to be the likely 11. I would love to see Broha, but I think Aubameyang with the signing, the big name, I think he will start this game. Going towards the likely 11 for Crystal Palace, they will be lining up in a 4-3-3 with Mitchell at the left, Ward at the right, Joshua Anderson going in the middle, Guata as the goalkeeper, Doucouré, Eze and Schlupp in the midfield. We all know Schlupp is a left-footed player. Eze is a very quick player as well. So these two midfielders will be very attacking and can cause Chelsea very much problems from the pressing, from the way they're going to go with intensity. And then Jordan Ayew will be at the right, Wilfred Zaha will be at the left, and Mateta with his physical strength in the front as well. And Mateta will give Chelsea a lot of troubles, I'm telling you people. So this is going to be the likely Crystal Palace 11. Going on the prediction for this game, I think Crystal Palace is going to lose this game 0-2. Will keep a clean sheet. They'll have a new manager bounce. And I think they're going to perform very well in this game, in my humble opinion. Now, going on the news we discussed earlier in the video, Christopher Nkunku, he has undergone the medical test at Chelsea. It does look like it's been done. And Bild, who are very reliable when it comes to German news, it does look like Nkunku is nearing his move to Chelsea, even before signing or getting confirmed. Great news for Chelsea, and that really shows people how quick Todd Boehly is working right now. We are really working for the long term, which is some very, very good signs as well. So I think that's good way the club is running in the future as well. And Nkunku's release clause is set at 52 million people. That is one of the most cheapest price you will ever get. That is a magnificent price, people. 52 million is peanuts for a club like Chelsea. And this is a great, great deal by Chelsea, people. A great deal. Now, a report by one of the most reliable person in Fabrizio Romano, verbal agreement with Nkunku and Chelsea has been reached around the contract of 2023. I always see Sterling will be there in the left wing back role. I do see that as well. I think he's going to shift between left wing back and a left wing. And then with verbal agreement has been reached around Nkunku, Chelsea are working to get the deal done very soon, and they want to be fast. Nkunku mission is Premier League football, was on Manchester United list and other lists as well. And with Fabrizio's approval, it does look like Nkunku is coming to Chelsea, people. Going to the next news, Chelsea have been turned down by Santos and have made a late bid to buy Lyon this month. We know Todd Boehly has been trying to get a feeder club for Chelsea where he can buy players, young players who are going to become superstars. You saw Santos produce players like Neymar, and Chelsea want to be a bit early into that. Chelsea want to buy Santos, clubs like Lyon, where they can really scout some of the best French talent, Brazil talent, and get them for a low price. They can also send their own players in the young team towards loan to Lyon, towards loan to Santos, to develop their game. This is what they're thinking. Santos have rejected that, and Lyon have also rejected that. But let's see what happens in this regard. We have Tom Glick, who is an executive right now. He has spent several months working on similar plans with the Crystal Palace investor John Praxter. Chelsea had late bid for Lyon, rejected this month. We've also seen Chelsea being in talks to buy a Portugal club with the help of Jorge Mendes, who has been a big part of helping Todd Boehly. This is why Ronaldo was being heavily linked to Chelsea as well. And right now, Porto Mendes are fourth in the Premier Division, and Chelsea is ready to buy them. PSG buying Espanyol are going on, talks are going on. I think that's really interesting as well. Thank you so much for the update, Football Tweaks. And that's going to be very interesting as well. Along with that, there are more news coming out that Chelsea are going for the new sporting director. Chelsea have held positive talks with the Bayer Leverkusen sporting director Tim Skelton. It's understood that Kyle McNulty has made a strong impression already on staff at Chelsea, and the new sporting director will work with him. We know that Kyle McAleny was brought by Graham Potter along with him in his recruitment team, and he's already made a great impression. And I think he can work very well. And Chelsea are bringing into a lot of sporting directors, and Bayer Leverkusen person is one of them. We do know Chelsea will try to appoint 2 at least for this category. So let's see what happens in this regard. Chelsea also will interview Victor Ota, who is of Leeds, Monchi of Sevilla, Lee Congerton of Atalanta, Rui Pedro Braz from Benfica next week for the vacant sporting director role. So big news, and it only shows that Chelsea are trying to become more of a club of scouting players, building players, and this is the way Chelsea are going to become. Big news here. We will be interviewing Ota, Monchi. Monchi is a person I've always admired, so he can do a very, very good job for Chelsea as well. And going on to the next news, it's about Todd Boehly, who is already very trying his best to sign a lot of players. We know Jorginho's contract is running out. We also know Kante's contract is running out. Age is also a factor. And this is why Chelsea are trying to send midfielders like Rice, Bellingham. The report says there is already tried to make inroads in the Bellingham camp, despite being told Madrid and Liverpool are ahead of Chelsea. Boehly, Clear Lake are ready to splash more cash with the midfield being one of the priorities. Rice remains on the club radar as well. This is the report by one of the most reliable Chelsea reporter in Matt Law. So that is a big, big news, people coming out as well. And I still think, to be honest, Jude Bellingham will accept Real Madrid, Liverpool, and even City over us. But there's a good way that the ownership is very aware and they are trying to improve our midfield as well. Has I've written on the right people, you can see it's a long-term process. Rice also remains in the club radar. Bellingham we are getting linked to as well. We Manchester City total O club recently. We brought Brazilian club last week, but I was happy when City Football Group brought Palmiro and Mumbai City FC. We all know that Manchester City also buy a lot of clubs, and Chelsea is trying to buy Santos. We're also trying to buy Lyon. We are trying to buy Portimonense. So it's exciting times as a Chelsea fan. We're trying to buy feeder clubs, and Nkunku is closing on a deal to sign for Chelsea. Along with that, Todd Bowley is already trying to make inroads to sign Bellingham on a rise to replace Jorginho Kovacic. We have already signed 2 young midfielders in Casadei and Chukwuemeka. So it's a long-term process. Chelsea is building a new team for the future, and it's exciting times as a Chelsea fan. We need to be patient. We need to be calm. We cannot be immediately asking for everything to happen. But these are some very good news right now coming out, people. And the last news for today, the news is regarding plans for an all-star game. Todd Bowley was abused and criticized when he brought this situation first. But now it looks like a lot of people are taking this into account, and we might have very soon a Premier League 11 best versus the best 11 from La Liga versus the best 11 for German Bundesliga versus the best 11 from League One, and it's exciting times. Now, in my opinion, it's a much better thing to do than pre-seasons, and this is going to be much more watched. And the money this is going to earn, the best players from La Liga, the best players from Premier League, Real Madrid, Barca players playing together, City, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal players playing together, the money this is going to earn is going to be massive. Now, the question arises, is this burden good on players, and will the players accept it? Let's be brutally honest, this is not good, but the players, if they're told that they will be given a lot of money, they will accept it. And if this is going to happen just at the end of the season, there's nothing bad in it, and it's a very good way. I do hope they raise the money for the charity. There's a good cause, and overall, this could be a massive, massive match, which could really generate big money worldwide and a big reputation for football worldwide. I hope they come to India, and I think this is going to be a very exciting proposal for all of us people. So, on today's video, we discuss some great things. For me, Chelsea is going to beat Crystal Palace 2-0. I do think Rafael Leao or Nkunku both will turn up at Chelsea. And Jude Bellingham, for me, people will be going to Real Madrid, but it's an interesting thing to look out for. And Declan Rice is the player I think is most likely to come to Chelsea. People, Nkunku for 52 million, 70 million, and Rice for 60 million next year is not impossible. When Pulisic might leave, Ziyech might leave, one of Conor Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek might leave. Reports are even coming for more players to leave. So we can have a lot of money next year to spend as well. And players like Leao, Nkunku, and Rice will add a lot of depth to this team as well. People, we are for a great time. Nkunku is closing in to sign for Chelsea for just 52 million. Leao is also really close to Chelsea as well. We are discussing with him as well. Jude Bellingham is a player who are really after. But let's be brutally honest, Jude Bellingham any day of the week will only accept Real Madrid. He won't accept Chelsea. Let's be brutally honest, he won't accept Chelsea. But I will be excited to see if Rice comes here, Leao and Nkunku. There are some great players to look out for. And that is the news we covered on today's video. Please, people watching the video, it doesn't take much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please support the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. And I hope